I'm late. As if I wasn't already late. Good morning. It's still morning. It's 11:56. It's still morning where I'm at. Get off my back. Sorry I'm late, guys. I slept in. I woke up and I just turned off my alarm. And I remember doing it, but I did like, at the time I was just like, oh, why is my alarm on? And I just woke up and like turned it off and went back to sleep. And then like an hour and a half later I woke up and I was like, oh, I'm definitely late for stream. And I checked my phone and yes, I was very late for stream. And now I'm late getting started too, because I'm tired. Anyway, I'm sorry. I started playing a new game. I've been a little bit addicted to it. So I'm doing my best to like, I wonder if maybe stayed up too late. Yeah, a little bit, but earlier than I did the night before. The night before I was up to like 4 a.m. I am playing WoW Classic. Just bought a sub yesterday, or not yesterday, 2 days ago. And me and Matt have been playing. Oh, it's so good, Moz. We're playing the Pandaria Classic. But I think they just updated, though I have not been following along with how like WoW's been doing their updates or whatever, but I think that they just had like I think they might have just done like a WoW Classic and they're like, hey, we're gonna split this off and now we're gonna do a Burning Crusade WoW Classic. And then they like level that one up and then they went to like whatever the next one was. I don't know. Wrath. And then I think they were on Wrath and they did the Cataclysm and now they're on Pandaria, which makes me wonder a little bit if they're just gonna keep going. I'm a little concerned about that because if they do that, I won't want to play anymore because there's a point where you just like there's no return with WoW, and I think Pandaria is like that's kind of like right where I quit playing the first time around. So I'm still I don't know, I'm still like trying to remember how to play, kind of. We lost him, chat. Yeah, listen, it was everything I had not to stream WoW today. I really considered streaming it. But yeah, and I did get Matt into it. This is his first time playing, so he's already re-rolled 3 new characters. Like we're in a bad cycle right now. We get to like level 10 or 15 and Matt's like, I kind of want to try something else, and then we re-roll again. So I'm trying to play a paladin and I'm trying to like actually get through the game with the paladin, but it's tempting because I keep re-rolling with Matt, so we'll see what I end up on. But I'm having a lot more fun than I remember ever having with WoW. Last time I played, I was not playing Classic, I was playing Retail, and I played with Dee and we kind of just shot through the whole game in like a couple weeks I think it was. I think we played for like 2 weeks pretty consistently, and we went from 0 to 100 or whatever, the 110 or whatever it was, the level cap was. And then with like all the time travel and garbage that they do in Retail now, I was just like, I don't even know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing. Like I'm at endgame, but I don't even know what the hell to do. There's like 50 different dungeons you can do, and I had no idea which ones I was able to do and where I should be going. And like I joined a guild, but they were like no help. I was like, what should I do? I just hit cap level, and they were just like, oh, you got to do this thing and make sure you're in this timeline or whatever, and do this thing. And then I got like a bunch of conflicting answers, and I gave up. Classic is cooked, or Retail is cooked. Yeah, Retail is absolute trash in my opinion. Though since I've been on like a WoW kick, my whole YouTube algorithm is just flooded with WoW stuff, and I've been hearing stuff about a new expansion, and I was like, oh boy, yay! Can't wait for a new Retail expansion to just add more like mud to the water. But I keep hearing this thing about WoW 2.0, which is they're supposed to like consolidate and like wipe everything and like start fresh, which I don't know if that's actually the case or whatever, or that's just like, it's probably just like wishful thinking from fans because that's what everyone seems to want. But I don't know, we'll see what happens. The cool thing is if you pay for 1 sub, you get access to Retail and Classic, so at any point I could just jump over and try it out and see what happens. I just don't have access to like the new whatever. But moving on, I'm doing everything I can to like stay focused on making Swords of Magic today and not doing WoW stuff. But on the bright side, the good thing is that we're already like on skill trees and dungeons, which is just fueling my fire for to work on our skill trees and dungeons, right? So, or sorry, playing WoW is fueling my fire to work on more skill trees and dungeon stuff. So I'm kind of tempted to start working on the dungeon system today, but I remembered when I opened the project today that I was in the middle of working on a damage mitigation shield, like a magic bubble. And I kind of want to just finish that up, but I don't remember where I was. Surprise, surprise. It looks like I was working on some effect stuff, but we'll just leave that off for now and see if this is working at all. We need to turn on skill trees. I think we're back to that point though, which is nice. You get caught up in chat. The alt-itis is real. Yeah, man, that's becoming an altaholic. I hear Golfer is being very rude and won't join us. Yep, that's true. Golfer says that he played 2 hours of retail and now he knows everything. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah, retail is actually like an absolute like shit show in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to try to convince anyone else to play WoW because WoW can become quite the addiction, to be honest. Like there's a lot of content, and once you start getting hooked on that grind, like it does become a problem for some people. So yeah. Name and shame. But no, we're not like actually looking for more people to play with us, but like if anyone does want to play, I will let everyone know our realm and everything. And we're playing Alliance right now because Matt's Matt, I guess. He's not a big fan of the Horde, I guess. Matt likes the characters to look pretty. I've been playing Eve for research. Nice. Eve is something. I played Eve for a little while. I probably put 5 to 10 hours somewhere in there into Eve. And then I think I like lost my ship or something, and I was like, well, that was the experience. I played Eve. Now I can do something else with my life. Horde is ugly. Fashion is endgame. I think that's why they gave Horde Blood Elves, man. Like they're like anyone who there's a lot of people who probably want to play Horde, but they refuse to play a Tauren or an Orc or a Troll. So let's give them something pretty to look at, I guess. Anyway, oh yeah, we're going over here. I want to test healing without getting bombarded by enemies, so we'll go here, I guess. Right. We need to turn on skill trees. Okay, so let's go to the journal container. I don't know which one it is. I think it's journal page. Nope. It's journal container. Actually, it's probably not this either. We'll find out. Surprisingly loving the lung fu pandas. Yeah, like the pandas are kind of cool. The kung fu pandas, yeah. Matt, I think ironically chose a panda as our last reroll, and then still didn't choose Horde. I'll never understand. No, I actually played a lot of Alliance when I was younger too, so it's not that crazy to me. Skill tree. Nope, skills main page is what we're looking for. I will never remember this. And this guy right here is set to collapsed. Oh, he's set to visible. This one. There you go. Visible. Okay, now skill trees are on. Also, hold on. I think I just remembered. That's not it. Class. That's not yet. Class entry. Oh, skill. Skills content. Skills container. This one we left on during the last update and then removed it again because we don't want people to see it. But it was kind of a little hint at skill trees are coming, and this is the first like bit of that. Why does it keep making me well, here we go. Okay, we have skill trees. All right, but we need to go to our mystic tree. I had this crazy idea, by the way, yesterday. Matt and I actually was chatting with Matt about this because I consult him on a lot of design stuff in the game, and because he's a friend, I guess. I like Eve because I can play it while I work, just mining. Yeah, it is not like there is something nice about having like an AFK game going on the side. Anyway, one issue I'm running into with the skill tree for the Mystic is if you look at the Mage tree, you have all these nodes. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know why I can't remember this. There's 8 major nodes and it should be 8 minor nodes. Yep. But the Mystic only has 6. And the reason for that is because you actually get 2 trees with the Mystic, but you only have access to 1 at a time, which makes the Mystic kind of weak, which kind of sucks. So I was thinking maybe it makes the most sense, and we might be too far gone with this because we did just redesign this last stream, and then I went and like added more to it afterward. And I'm really happy with the design with like where we're at right now. Like I think it's done. The problem is if I want to do 8 nodes, which does make sense, then I'm thinking what if we have like a set of nodes like on the left side over here that's like 4 and then 4 on the right side, right? So we'll just straight up steal the warrior one, I guess. I think the warrior tree looks just like that, which means I think the druid does also. Yeah, pretty much like this. We'll kind of just steal this, but then what we could do is basically this far tree right here would be your healing tree. This tree would be like generic, like this would be like cast times, mana regeneration, maybe stuff, maybe some like threat, like mitigation, like you get less threat or something from healing, etc. Things like that. Like these are just kind of like pretty generic things that like would be useful for any like mage kind of class or whatever, or at least for like a healer class or whatever. Or even a DPS mage class, probably. That's ideally the plan. And then the right side would be your corrupted tree. This would be your tree where you get, like, this is all your healing stuff, right? And then if you become corrupted, this is the side of the tree that would become that corruption or whatever. Like, we could even have, like, this cool, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we need to, like, do a cool background or something on the trees. And then when it gets corrupted, we like turn it purple and do something like cool behind it. It looks nice. But anyway, the idea is that this side would get corrupted. So it's only 4, like we have to make 4 extra abilities just for chaos. So it's not as crazy as making, 16 whole abilities for mystics, because this side of it would stick around. This would still be useful for chaos mystics. This side would be the one that's all chaos related. So that's the idea right now. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So, I like a generic tree that makes use of stuff that's already made for other trees, stuff that isn't complicated. Yeah, it would be basic things. Like the first one would probably be like a mana regeneration or something like that. Like maybe it just gives you like +3 or +2 like passive like magic regen. Like, which I think would be incredibly useful because we don't have access to that anywhere in the game where you just get permanent mana regeneration. I don't think, right? I think it all comes from food and drink. Also we need a trinket that also gives you a bonus. But I think maybe the reason we don't do this yet is because we really do need to turn it into a stat. But I think that needs to be done before we do skill trees anyway, so I can just put on my list as something we gotta knock out. Yeah, passive mana regen would be huge. Yeah, and I think if it's just here is like a level 1 skill that anyone can just grab with one of their extra skill points, like that's pretty huge. Because then like all mages would like dip into that, which is fine. I think that's like the idea is that like you're kind of just dip into different trees here and there to grab whatever like extra bonuses you need. And then you just focus on like one main tree, really. We just want to make sure that these end skills, whatever these are at the top here, are like really useful, right? They need to be like really enticing. so players like really want to get to them, to make sure that players are not just grabbing like the bottom like 4 skills in every tree or whatever, because you can kind of go like jack of all trades and just do like like first couple traits or the first couple passive in every skill, every tree. Oh, sorry about the ad break. I talked right through it. I always feel locked into Astronomer Tea or Blackberry Dew because mana regen is critical for mages. No room to experiment. Yes. That is true. And I still think it will be for like endgame stuff. Like, I think if you're like healing a dungeon or something, you're gonna want like the Blackberry Dew. Like, I can't, I don't know, we'll see, I guess. You mentioned, Matt, the other day that you don't ever use potions. Did you mean magic potions? Do you have enough regen just through like Blackberry Dew and whatever else you may have to get mana regen from that to like sustain spellcasting? Not unlimited, but we do have dews that are awesome. Yeah. But also keep in mind that most players don't have access to dew until you get to Delver's Pass, which is great. But yeah, that just kind of means that like most of the game as of right now, you're playing without mana regen, unless you like, except for a couple exceptions like Astronomer's Tea, which is like late game farmlands. So you're still halfway through the game, or halfway through the content at that point. Yeah, so Conjure Feast is cool, but I do feel like, I don't know. I do wonder if like Conjure Feast is a little too sporadic. It's just, it was meant to be just like a fun like gimmick idea, and now it just sort of seems like that's become like the move now. Like it's almost like meta. If there's a meta for Swords of Magic. I get enough damage with dual wands. Yeah, that's true. After playing WoW a bit more, I am starting to wonder if we should reduce like staff damage, like basic staffs, and then increase spell damage to really like. Also, when I was playing the my hardcore character, I've been playing with Pearl. She's playing mage, druid. I think she's trying to aim for druid. But I've noticed that she only casts spells like once every few fights. And I was trying to figure out why she wasn't casting spells like way more often. And one, it's because most of the spells she has to aim, and she's not great at aiming, so I think she sees it as like a waste. And also because it takes a while. And I also think that like mages just do a ton of damage with staves and wands. And I think it just kind of like there's no reason to cast spells most of the time until you get a really powerful spell. So I think what we'll do is, when I wouldn't do it yet, but once we have like a good chunk of spells to choose from, like probably like 10 or so more spells to choose from, and we've kind of like balanced out how many spells there are for each class and everything too, I think that's when I'll probably maybe not buff the damage of spells, but kind of like drop the damage of, maybe I'll reduce, or maybe I'll just give people like more mana to start with, more magic to start with, so you can cast more spells in a fight before you need to stop it, like a potion or whatever. High velocity spellcasting, Blackberry Dew, yeah. Boom, got her. Girl can't aim. Oh, I wasn't trying to be like rude. I just know that she complains about not being able to aim. Yeah, you don't really need them because the difference isn't that big for the time you need to cast it. Yeah, that is true. I think that spells definitely do add up. Like if you use like the lightning shield one, and you have like blizzard and what else? Like conjure mending fairy, those spells are incredibly useful, and like those are the ones that like totally change like how the game is played, sort of. But until you have those, like casting, you know, like ignite, for example, or like the ice one is just sort of like meh, you know, it's not like that useful. Gonna need some anti-magic gear as a tinkerer. These mages are everywhere. Anyway. So yeah, that's kind of, I think that's the goal for Mystic, but for now we need to get, I need to add a passive on here, even if it's a temporary one. Like, I don't think this is where this is going to go, but I want to put it on here. What the heck? Which one is it? Prevention? I think it was prevention. Hang on. Not gonna lie, my eyes are a little burny today, and I wanted to believe that it was because we whenever I like sleep with like a fan on me, it like dries my eyes out, and I'm like, my eyes are kind of sore the next day. So I was like, Deanna, did you turn the fan on last night when we went to bed? And she was like, nope. And I was like, damn it, that means I've been playing too much WoW. So I probably need a break from the computer later today. I'll probably take Quinn to the park or something. Jan has a meeting at like 3 in a few hours, so I have I've only got about 3 hours to stream today, which is normally what I have anyway, so probably fine. Right, I think I was changing prevention, though I think we're gonna change this to something like Mystic Shield or something. I don't like the prevention. I think like giving players +3 resilience for 10 seconds after they get healed is like in practice a good idea, and it's like it's a good first perk you get. My problem with it is that it doesn't feel impactful because you don't really feel the effect of +3 resilience as the person healing. Like, it just feels like, okay, you don't even really notice it, you know? Like, it is definitely like +3 resilience is definitely a lot and it's very useful, but it's not like crazy. And I just think it just doesn't feel as good as like another thing could be. So I'm changing this to Mystic Shield, and what it's gonna do is I think we're gonna do like a 10, maybe 15%. Let's do 15%. Let's see. Kind of thinking like 50, like a whole like health bar worth. Maybe 30. We'll start with 30 and we'll like balance from there. Maybe how about this? What if it's like 50% of the caster's health? Or we could also derive it based on willpower or the caster's magic. Let's do caster's magic. What kind of keyboard is that? I use a Chroma Ornata Razor. It's pretty old. I need a new one. It's like falling apart on me. But I have this. This is like my second one, I think. Yeah, I think I bought 2 of these now. I love the feel of this keyboard. It has the membrane switches. I don't know. I can't remember what they're called. But it's like a half mechanical, half membrane, and it feels like it just feels so good. It has like that really soft press, and then a click at the end. It's just like, it's so good. Absorbing 50% of the Mystic's max magic and damage. 15 seconds. Does that make sense? It makes it kind of makes it sound like it absorbs the Mystic's mana, but magic, but it doesn't. Sounds like a machine gun with your speed. Yeah. Yeah, I do type pretty quick. Okay, so another thing I was just thinking, I forgot we set this up like this, but I really like how the Ancestral Guardian and Undead Presence are like mirroring each other, and then that's like a whole tree in itself, and then you have more underneath it. I was kind of thinking maybe we do something like this originally. No, I guess, hold on. Oh no, wait, go back, edit, redo, edit, Control Y. Thank you. Maybe we would do something like this. What? Those were locked for some reason. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We still only have 6 though. I don't know, this kind of changes our plans a little bit. I don't want to lock it, but I want to like group it. Whatever. Anyway, and then maybe this healing orbs would like branch into this one, and then you need both of these to do this one or something. And then Ancestral Guardian would be like its own thing. The problem is, this won't work for like our basic abilities. And we also now have too many abilities if we're gonna do just 4 abilities for each side of the thing. I don't know. Now maybe we just do the whole tree. I'm kind of just leaning toward the whole tree now again. I think like I really do like the magic regen idea, which we could just throw in here. That would give us 7 of the 8. And we could have like maybe like the first 2 or something like that just branch out, and those 2 don't get corrupted or something. And then it's just everything after that gets corrupted. I don't know. Maybe even that's like useless, because like as a chaos mystic, like you don't care about magic. So what does it matter if you have magic regen? Maybe it's just like passive health regen. I think that makes even more sense. Passive health regen though, like if it's too powerful, might totally mitigate all of your chaos sickness. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna change Mystic Prevention. I'm already there. It's called Urgency. Nope. I'm gonna call this Mystic Shield. I don't really care, that's fine. And then we'll do... I just realized I am talking about this like you guys can see it. I'm so stupid. Why don't you guys say something to me? I was just like talking about this like you guys could see the whole thing. Sorry. You were just staring at the screen the whole time. My bad. My brain is not... I think I'm full on in focus mode now for some reason. Oh, what am I doing? I can't test it yet. Gonna stack me some HP regen, no sickness for me. Yeah. Are you actually are you planning on like switching or re-rolling like a new character to do Mystic, Matt? We need to change the name of this. We'll do shield, I guess. It's fine. Not sure what Matt is going to be yet. Okay. why Matt in quotes? Oh, because Matt is your character. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of theory crafting going on. I'm really excited to like see like build videos. I really hope people start like make some like build videos, and they're really cool. All right, skill tree, Mystic. I'm not getting any skill points. And our mastery limit is already at 25 for some reason. Let's clear all, and then let's go get ourselves an amnesia potion just so we're like fresh on this to make sure we don't need weird bugs going in, because I think we do. Let's just drop all our skills down to 0. Okay, and then we need to play multiplayer to test if this works, but also I know this isn't going to work yet because prevention is not giving the right thing right now, and also we're still going to call it prevention, unfortunately, I think. Oh, we have urgency on this one. Really good. Okay. Prevention. Save. And then we need to go to passive prevention. One stack. Has duration. This should be infinite. We're going to take this off. Don't need a proc on it. Okay. This now just gives you the status effect prevention. We don't want that, do we? Yeah. Yes. No. We don't. We just want this. That's it. It's just gives it to you and you have it permanently, and then when you have it, that's when your heals can trigger the thing. So now what we do is heal order. We go down here, conditional gameplay effects. This one we don't want prevention on because we already have prevention. We're gonna make a new one. No. Shit, how do we do this? Hold on. I forgot how we were doing this. Let's see. BP character. If we have status effect positive magic shield when our health updates, that's when we check to see if there's a shield, and if there isn't, then we make one. So we're looking for magic shield. Right, we're making this generic. So we're looking for, let's see, heal order. Okay, let's duplicate this. Let's call this GE underscore magic shield. Okay, no stacking. It's a buff. Shield icon. This is fine for now. We have to change it, obviously. But... okay, we do need duration. Actually, how do we do this? The way I was going to handle this is whenever... I was just going to give it like a chance to give you the shield as a gameplay effect, or as a tag, I guess. And then we check that tag when your health changes. And then we grant the shield. And then we just, I guess, remove the tag. I wonder if we should just like make this an execution instead. We can also grant abilities. Would have been interesting if we just made this an ability that we grant, and then we just attempt to trigger it. But where do we do that? On the heal? Oh, I don't know how to do this. Okay, so you unlock the skill. It gives you a passive all the time called Prevention. Then whenever you heal an ally, we attempt to shield them, which would give them a magic shield tag. And then when their health changes, we check for that magic shield tag. I'm a little worried that when you apply this like heal right here, that this effect that it'll attempt or it will give you happens after the heal happens, meaning you'll get the tag after the health has already changed, that code will already run, and then you'll get the tag, and then the shield will never like trigger at that point. What's an easier way to do this? What's it? It'd be really nice if we just had like a mystic component that like when you took this, and you just got that component, and then anytime you healed, like we were just like bound to that or something, or we just use like a, I don't know. I wish there was a way to trigger a gameplay effect from, or a gameplay ability from a gameplay effect, and I'm pretty sure there's not. Well, I guess with an execution we could probably do it. Is it using an execution though? You can grant ability and trigger it. Granted abilities. How do I trigger it? remove ability on end would be handy. If I could trigger it immediately, that's great, but I don't see an option to do that. The only thing I can think is execution. I could do like an execution that triggers it. It's in the ability. Like trigger when granted or something. Let's go, I don't know, AI attack or something, sure. Trigger instance ability? No. Ability triggers. Trigger source, gameplay, tag, oh, and owned tag added. Owned tag present. Trigger if the ability's owner gets tag added, removed when the tag is removed. Is that how you do it? Trigger when the ability's owner gets, oh wait. That's the same text, isn't it? I think present would probably trigger if they had the tag when they got the ability granted. Okay, so let's change how we're doing this then, because I made a component for it. I still think a component might be a good way to do it. That might work too if you grant it and give a tag in the ability, but that might have a race condition. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I would give the tag in the effect and grant the ability, but I don't know which comes first. But either way, I feel like if the condition, if the ability trigger is owner tag present, that should mean that as soon as this ability gets added, it always is looking for that tag to be present, not just when it gets added, right? Like added makes sense. Like if that tag gets added, that'll trigger this ability. But present makes it sound like whenever this ability gets granted, it should trigger. Otherwise, what does that mean? It's just funny because like it's the exact same text. Oh wait, no, it's not. Triggered if the ability's owner gets tag added, removed when the effect is removed. Triggered if the ability's owner gets a tag added. It's literally almost the exact same. I think this is a typo or like an oops. Does your ability have a tab in the defaults called ability activation? Activation owned tags. Tags to apply to activating owner while this ability is active. No. Tag matching. GPT is saying tag matching. In your gameplay effect, add a distinct tag via in your gameplay ability, set up an ability trigger to listen for that tag. Yep, okay. That's how we do it then. All right, so I can close this. Right now what I was doing was there's a BP spell damage shield. This is what actually like shows up. This is our bubble. But I also made a component which handles like the duration and everything, but let's just take all this and put it on a gameplay ability instead. Ability base. Let's do player. Actually, this should be shared. Let's I want to build this in a way that we could actually technically put it on enemies as well. I think that'd be awesome. Because then we could have like healer mage enemies that are like bubbling their allies. What's up, boring? Welcome in. I just got an awesome game idea. Hope to tell me now. I hope I remember to mention it later. Mention it now. No, Maz, I think this will work. I think the tag system will do it. That's what GPT said too. I'm pretty confident. We're gonna test it. Let's just make go in here and let's do ability base, I guess. I don't know if this matters, but we'll just start from this. GA underscore. This is gonna be called Magic Shield, I guess. Sure. Okay, and then we're gonna look for activation blocked tags, carrying, we don't care about that. I don't know why these are on here. Mounted, that doesn't matter either. Source block tags, carrying, mounted, don't care about that either. Activation, acquired tags. We want to be in ability triggers. And we can do a cooldown class as well. That'll be so handy. Okay. We're looking for status effect, positive magic shield. That's our trigger tag. Trigger source is going to be game owner tag present. Okay. We won't worry about the cooldown yet. We do need, okay, so here's an issue I just realized. I need to be able to modify this, right? Like I can't just have a generic amount. So if we're like, how do I trigger this with certain variables? You know what I mean? Because when I was putting this, like, there's a blueprint component here. I have health and duration on it. So how do I manage the health and duration in a gameplay ability? Normally, if I was just like activating it, I think you can just input the health and duration, but not if I'm doing it through a gameplay effect. This is where gas, like, at least in 426, and at least the way we have it set up, really falls short for Swords of Magic, because I don't have as much control over things as I would like. I'll tease it, Hawthorne in space. I'm really glad you're calling it Hawthorne and not the actual name of the game, because Hawthorne is that other game that I think I showed off on stream, that looks like a really watered down version of what I want to make. But I'm glad, because I don't want to spoil the name of my game yet. With mice though in space, not super into that. I don't know. I'm a sucker for like fantasy though. I'm okay with like some sci-fi stuff as long as it's like Star Wars-y kind of. I really like Star Wars, but I'm not super into like Star Trek, like shiny spaceships with like, I don't know, sci-fi stuff like that. It's too hard to reel in. What? Hold on, let me catch up. If you ever want to add a activate on Grant, it's like 3 lines of code in your base ability class. Yeah, that might be useful. The base ability class is based on the RPG. Is from the RPG. What is it called? Like core game or whatever that we started with. So I have to modify that, but I guess it's fine. Chat, has anyone a tip for me how to fish that dang crimson fish? I've been trying to get it for 2 days now, elderwood rod and right bait and all, but I just can't seem to catch it. Yeah, if you're not seeing it, use luck. Luck does impact what fish show up. Luck will give you a chance of higher rarity fish. And use Lila's rod. You see it but can't reel it in. Yeah, so use Lila's rod. Bait doesn't matter. Bait doesn't make your fishing easier. It's just the rod. And then all you have to do is just watch the pattern. Like every fish has a specific pattern that it does, like where it like rests and then fights. So and just watch that, and then just, I don't know. Someone was complaining that the it might have been you actually. I don't remember. But someone was complaining about the lockjaw being like really hard to catch, and I couldn't figure it out. So I went in and tested it. I was doing it on a test character, and it took me about 10 or 11, I think, tries to get it to spawn. I was using luck, and I was using there's a cheat in the editor build that like makes fish swim to your bait immediately when you cast. So I didn't have to wait like the 5 to 10 seconds, whatever. So I was catching them faster. But that doesn't change anything. But I caught the lockjaw my first attempt without really much of a struggle. So if you just follow the patterns and just make sure you're only clicking when they're not fighting and then let go. And then there are definitely times when if you're like gonna reel it in, you can click through the fight or whatever. Like you can keep clicking while they're fighting or whatever. You just gotta watch the tension. Just had about 40 attempts. Jeez. That's a struggle. I don't remember it being that hard. Let's go look at the fighting pattern for you. Crimson Serpent. So yeah, it's not even like, look at the lockjaw. This is the lockjaw's fighting pattern. It's pretty much, it's really difficult to memorize this one, right? There's so much going on. But this one, like half that, it shouldn't be that hard to memorize, especially 40 attempts. So it doesn't fight, so you want to reel for like 2 whole seconds. I think these are 2 seconds or 1 second a piece. Could be like a second and a half, I don't know. And then he fights once, and then you reel, and then he fights twice, and then you reel, fight, reel, fight, reel, reel. So it's not super. It shouldn't be too complicated to like kind of memorize when he's going to do that. But he is a 7, and the lockjaw is an 8, so he's the second hardest fish in the game to catch by quite a bit. We don't even have a 6. Should I make him a 6? There, he's a 6. He'll be a little easier in the next patch, but you should, hopefully you'll catch him before then. I think there's a 1 to 2, there's a 1 to 2 better rods than Elderwood. Oh yeah, why aren't you using Lila's rod? Right, like literally right where you're catching him, there's Lila sitting there. Do her quest, and then she'll give you a rod, unless you gave it back to her, in which case you lose it. Yeah, do Lila's quest, and if you've already done it, then maybe you could ask someone to sell you an extra rod if they have one. But yeah, let's go look at, let's see, Lila's rod. Real speed is 5, line strength is 7. And then the Elderwood is 4 and 4. So yeah, you have a huge upgrade if you're using Lila's rod. Huge upgrade. Sure. Jan's gonna bring me some food. Anyway, huge upgrade. So yeah, definitely use Lila's rod. That actually is a little bit too much of an upgrade, to be honest. I think Lila's rod was sort of like, I know that you have to do fishing for this next quest you need, and so it was sort of like, let's just give the players a really good rod here anyway, and if they haven't done fishing before, then they can jump right into it. You don't have to like go back to the and work your way up through rods or anything like that. You can just go. So I probably won't be giving anyone like rods like that in the future through like an easy quest, but that quest is really easy, so should be a big deal. Anyway, so I guess I do have access to the caster of this. Do I? I have source and target. How do I get access to that? Hi to everyone.
Hi everyone.
Is that World of Warcraft background music? Yeah, I don't know why I'd be listening to that though. It's not like I've just started playing again and I'm really addicted to it or anything. And it's like everything I have to work on this game instead of
It's like way
playing.
over there now.
Ooh, it's really hot. Oh, it's actually cold.
I put it in the microwave and then Quinn knocked Abby's cup over and then Lux was trying to get it, so I had to do that. So I put it in longer than I expected.
Oh,
so
great.
sorry.
I was just expecting you said you had leftover, so I was like waiting for it to be really cold.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Got me tripping because I was currently unfollowing the WoW people I follow. Oh, that's pretty funny. You refreshed the stream a few times? Yeah, sorry about that. No, I listen to it because it's I love the music and also it's I don't get copyright flagged for it.
Okay, I'm leaving the child flags.
Goodbye.
Bye.
This man could be farming herbalism right now, or I could be. Great music and calming. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm making a game that's heavily inspired by WoW, so it makes sense. It's like a casual 4-player WoW, I guess. Anyway, I have no way to oh wait. We can give it a we can give it a magnitude, right? I don't know how to get the magnitude, but I'm pretty sure I can get a magnitude for this. It's gonna be some stupid way to do it, though. This is GE Magic Shield, which I guess needs to grant the ability. Yeah, so I can give it I can give it a level. The problem is I can't give it a level based on anything but a curve. Well, I guess that makes sense. Right. I give this a level based on the level of yeah. Okay. So let's just do there's like a generic, where is it? Generic linear table. So we'll just do linear. Yeah, so I can just give this like 1 to 30 or like 1 to 10 or whatever. That's fine. Removal ability or policy, cancel ability immediately. No, we're gonna do nothing. Remove ability on end. Sure. What is input ID to bind this? Oh, okay. I don't want any input. Okay. So I think that should work to trigger the ability. Now we have a level, so we should have like a can I just get level? Is that what it's called then? Get ability level. Okay, beautiful. Okay. Okay, so now I just need to remember when we do our heal, this is going to be a bit of a problem. So when we do heal order, we have a conditional gameplay effect, and then we can add GE passive prevention. But I can't give this a level. Also, I can't give GE passive prevention, can I? No. Yes, because our skill node prevention or shield, whatever, gives a gameplay tag, not an effect. I could give the effect, but I'm giving a tag. And then the tag means whenever I use heal, it looks for that tag and then applies passive prevention, which will do I don't want this either. I want to add shield, right? Gameplay. Oh, that was the asset tag. That's fine, I guess. And then we want to grant shield. Okay. And then that gives the ability. Oh wait, did I put that? What did I put that on? Oh. I'm doing this weird. This is too many steps. We want to do shield. Okay, if we have prevention, we add to shield. And then the shield does its thing. I hope that's right. I think we need to do here though. I don't think we need this. This is the like tag for the effect, which is still kind of confusing to me, but I don't think I need it there. Whatever. Okay, so yeah, the question is, how do I, when I heal here, I add magic shield, but I can't give this a level. This sucks. Why can't I not do this? I wonder if I can expose this in C++. Oops. Alright, we're gonna ask GPT. Okay, trying. get to the bottom of this. While also eating the hash brown. My drink just exploded. Cool. Conditional gameplay effects inherit the spec level of the parent GE that applied them. So your shield GE will be created at the same level as the heal GE spec, not level 1. That is kind of beautiful, but also problematic. Because that means that if we are healing for... Oh, actually, you know what? It's kind of perfect. Sorry, I'm trying to salvage this drink. No, yeah, that's actually kind of perfect. Because, like, that means that if you are doing a spell that heals for a lot more, you're going to get a much more powerful shield. We will test this. Oh, well, okay, shit, this is another problem. We do need the middleman. This needs to be prevention, and unfortunately, yeah, we need this, which sucks. It's stupid, but the reason we do that is because it needs to have a chance to cast. I wish we could put notes in here. Yeah, so this needs a percentage chance to apply, so we don't get a shield every single time they get healed. So that's why we need this middleman essentially, and then this will grant the status and the no, this should just grant the gameplay effect. Conditional gameplay effects, I guess. Is that how is this the best way to do this? This is the one that actually, oops. I don't know if we even need a card source tag, I guess, but I will do it. We'll do it anyway, just in case for some reason this gets triggered somehow. Okay. So yeah, so the heal can trigger the passive prevention, or prevention passive, which then will will then have a chance to trigger the GE shield. And then the GE shield will always trigger the GA magic shield. And then we just need to set up duration. It has duration. We want to do scalable float. We want to do what? Linear table, and we'll do this 1. So we'll just do like the whatever level the heal is for that many seconds, I guess. This might be a bit problematic. We could do attribute based, but I don't know if this is going to push an attribute through. Yeah, it will. I don't know who. I think at this point, like, I assume that the caster is still the source at this point. I'm asking more questions. Kind of liking the new GPT-5. It definitely still like hallucinates a little bit, and it still has like kind of like a lot of the same issues. And it's kind of weird because like you don't like, it's weird because going from like, I don't know, GPT like 3 or whatever, 3.5, whatever, it was like, whoa, this is amazing. And then the next one was like, oh, this is like way better. This is like crazy good. And now we're getting way, way, way more diminishing returns, which is good probably. I don't really want our AI overlords to take over anytime soon, so that's nice. But still, like it's nice. What I like about it is that sometimes it'll like randomly stop and think, or whatever you want to call it, thinking, like analyze its own answer before it answers. And sometimes if it's just something simple, it'll just answer. And I like that it's like taking its own agency to do that now. Finally, it has been a pain, but with the right rod, it was way more doable. Yeah. You're welcome, Boy. I'm glad you got the rod finally. That's why we put that quest right there, because I thought players would be like, oh, there's another quest here. And then when they saw someone fishing, they might think, oh, maybe this is to help me get that fish, which it kind of was. So I don't know, I thought it would work out, but I also know that some players just get kind of like hyper focused or like laser focused on like one quest, and they'll do the other ones later, and that's probably the downfall in some places. A conditional gameplay effect applied from another G keeps the same source as the parent spec. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, and I have source to target. That's so good. Okay. But I just remembered that this always throws me off how the hell to set this up. So if we make this attribute based, which might be the best way to do this. Like, my problem is, okay, let's say you're just using your healing staff and you're just healing up your buddy while he's tanking, right? And you're like heal, like doing like 1 to 2 damage per heal. So each one of those heals that's going through is level 1 to 2 or whatever, right? So if you get a level 2 heal, maybe it blocks, let's just say like we'll scale the level by 5, right? So it blocks 5 times 2 damage, so that's 10 damage, and lasts for 2 seconds, right? That's fine, that works. But now, and then like that'll feel good, right? If that pops like every, like, you know, 1 in 15, so like 1 in like 5 or so. Is that right? Yeah, 1 in 5 or so, I think. I don't know. Hits, that'll be cool, right? You'll just get a shield every once in a while, just take a little bit of damage, and you're good to go. But now, let's say you're casting like burst heal, which heals for like 30 health or something crazy like that, right? So now we pop burst heal and we proc the shield, and now we are at 30 times 5 health, right? And it lasts for 30 seconds. So 30 times 5 is what, 150 health? So now you have practically an entirely new health bar, a whole ass health bar, blocking all that damage, and you've got it's going to be up for 30 whole seconds. And later in the game, I assume we're going to have like some more potent heals, you know, get some like lay on hand stuff going on there where it's like an instant heal for like, not instant because you have to target everything, but like a super high like potency heal with like a long cooldown or a long or a lot of mana or something. And that's gonna like be like, you know, plus like heal for like 150 health. Now we're looking at 150 times 5. So like this is like kind of the problem here, is we can't scale the shield linearly based on the level of heal going in. Also, a lot of these things are probably not going to trigger the shield, which really sucks. Maybe we only trigger the shield on like staff casts, staff healing for this passive. Maybe that's how we handle this. Maybe when healing with an order shield or order staff, which I know kind of does suck for other players that are not using order stabs, but like, I don't know how else to do this. Maybe it's just 1-to-1. Hell, we can even like just cancel the ability if it's less than like one, like less than like 5 or something, or less than 2 or something, less than 3 maybe. So you don't ever get a bubble that's just like 1 health, you know? Because then it's like that's like useless. But if it's 1-to-1, then you can, and you cast like a level 30, like a 30 health healing spell or whatever. You heal 30 health, right? And then they get triggered a bubble, and they would get a bubble that lasts 30 seconds that has 30 health. 30 seconds is a lot, so we could do like 0.5 for the time or something. Maybe like 15 seconds. But that also means like, I don't know, maybe that actually balances out, because it's like, if you're doing like some high level heal, you're not going to be doing that a lot, because you're going to use a lot of your magic, right? So if you use like a lay on hands kind of heal or something, and it just like fully heals up your tank in like 1 cast, that's great. And then if it triggers the shield, it's like, oh my god, I only use lay on hands like once a fight or whatever, maybe a couple times a fight for like longer, like boss fights or whatever. And I happen to proc this shield, which means now my tank is protected for an entire, like, his whole health bar. He has like double health right now, essentially. And I can just take a breather, you know, regen mana, focus DPS, whatever. Like, you have a second to think. Maybe that's okay. And then for the most part, you're just doing smaller heals, which means you're just gonna trigger that shield more often, but a smaller version of it. So if you're healing like 10 health here, 20 health here, and the duration of the shield is half of that time, then you might end up with like 0.5 health, or 0.5 of that. So it'd be like 5 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever, and for 10 or 20 damage, which would be just enough to like feel good. Or we just make the shield less solid, like this is how much damage it mitigates, because our player's health does not really scale that much, so maybe it's not even that big of a deal. Maybe we just make 2 versions of the magic shield. They both can trigger the thing, but it'll just be different magnitudes. Let's just do that. This will be so much easier. Let's just do this. We'll make 1 minor version for this passive that's like triggers a minor magic shield. Over. Duration, we'll just make it like, what, 5 seconds for the minor one. Chance to apply a target. Then we could also give this one, this could also be like magic shield underscore passive or something, and that would be, or order passive or something, and that would be the one that has the chance to trigger, and then we could just totally bypass this other thing. Or we just do it all in one thing. Okay, so in here, we're gonna grab our G magic shield, copy, passive magic shield, paste, and this will be level like 1, I guess, sure. And then this shield can be level like 3, I guess, or whatever we want it to be, and we can make this could be scale, could scale as well. Actually, we'll just do that. We'll just make this scale. This could also scale based on attributes, however we want to do it. Okay, this is better. This is going to be scalable float. This duration will last. I guess I don't know if this even matters. I don't know if this GE duration matters, because I don't know if we're just going to. I guess we could just remove the ability. Big fan is whatever is easier. Same. Gotta take out. See you later, Matt. Uh-oh. We have notifications and spoiler chat. Is it within the playable zone, i.e. not within areas where you have... Yeah. Sorry, answering questions. Okay. Are we back on track now? We have our shield, we have a duration, magnitude, okay, good. So now we're back to this one, I think. Passive, magic shield, target. This is duration, has duration. One. Right. We don't want this to be... Hold on, how do I make... If I just turn this off, does it just not scale? It's just gonna be like a flat 5 seconds or something? I hope so. That's the plan here. This is status effect positive prevention. This needs to be shield. Okay, order magic buff. This is gonna be magic shield. Okay, I think that's good, but it should be triggering. We need to do, let's see, activate ability. Let's do a print string. Let's do toggle breakpoint. What's up, boob? Someone just popped into spoiler chat and asked if we have an ETA on when skill trees are coming, and I was like, I'm live right now working on them, but I don't have an ETA for you yet. We can close that. All right, we have a breakpoint here. So now let's walk through the steps, make sure we have this set up correctly. We close this, we can close this, and we can close. I don't know what else. We're still using this. We're gonna spawn this. Heal order still has this on it. Great. Yes. And then prevention right now we have prevention, order shield, order magic shield. 100% chance to apply. We'll reduce this once we know it's working. Skill tree mystic. Mystic Shield, skill nodes, Mystic Shield, prevention, gameplay tags. So if we have prevention, our heal will trigger passive order, magic shield. Passive order, magic shield has a 100% chance to apply right now. Oh wait, we don't need to do the magic shield thing anymore because we're doing the ability, right? This goes away. Right, 5 seconds, and we actually dropped the thing. So we need to do. We could do remove on end. Let's do nothing because we're gonna rely on the tag to remove the ability. Okay, so let's just see if casting a spell that triggers the heal order. I don't even know what triggers that, but let's make sure. Let's just see if this even works. We'll go get ourselves the. Oh, there's one more thing to do. I just remembered. Before we test this, I can't give myself skill points right this second. He was confused when they said talents. Yeah, I think talents, skill points, skill tree, like it's all kind of the same thing. In World of Warcraft, later World of Warcraft, not OG Classic, but like now, I think it's actually Pandaria and on. They switched. Excuse me. Well, actually, I think it was always called talents. Actually, talent tree. Yeah, talents, skills, same thing. I played enough games. I know what it all means. I really do love gas, but it does. Like sometimes I wish we just rolled our own like blueprint system that was like then I could like modify it better and like have full control over it. Just because gas is a little bit limiting in this aspect. Oh, is there a random crab like on me? Okay. What we forgot to do is we need to go back to our player component and find our experience or skill tree stuff. I don't think we're getting skill points. Oh, right. We don't want to do it here anyway. We want to do it on class entry. Set skill. Let's see, skill points spent. Skill points to spend. If greater than or equal to 12. Oh, that's probably why I wasn't getting skill points. Because we don't get skill points till level 12. I forgot we like already kind of figured out skill points. Can't get into WoW. Ugh, you guys are not. You don't get it. You don't get me. You'll never understand. I was so good. So here's the thing. When I first got into WoW, I was an impressionable teenager. I came from Guild Wars. OG Guild Wars, not Guild Wars 2. It wasn't out yet. And it was when the internet was still very, very social. I know that sounds weird saying that's not social now, but like, I mean, like people used the internet and went to chat rooms. Like, we didn't have like Discord, right? So it wasn't like you just find your people and then you stay there. Like, we were like, especially as teenagers, it was like, oh my god, there's a whole world of people out here to meet. And so we played all kinds of games with like major social aspects. Like I played tons of like MUDs, and the most of my time playing MUDs was just me like chatting with other people like that I met in the game. And I would find like chat rooms all the time. Like I remember as like a young teenager finding like Pokemon chat rooms on my grandparents' computer and like spending hours and hours like role playing Pokemon battles and then just chatting with random people online. So when WoW came out, it was still very much like a social place, like the internet was. And you also have to remember, like, this is the first time we've ever been able to like communicate with other people like outside of like your own like school, right? Like, we didn't really have access to that kind of stuff as kids. So like, this was the first time we ever like got to meet like people in the world. Like, we didn't have YouTube comments, right? We didn't have YouTube where you could just like jump on and like see people's point of views from the other side of the world like instantly, and like you couldn't just like read through comments and like communicate with people. So it was like totally different world when you got into a game or something and you like met people that you could like chat with. So WoW is very much social for me. So when I got into WoW, it was like, and it's weird too because I remember meeting people like every single day I played WoW. I like meet a new person, at least one person, if not many. And I remember like chatting with them and like grouping up to do things and like meeting whole groups of people to like join and hang out to like work on a dungeon together or whatever. Like, it was just, there was so much stuff going on and it was like a blast. But nowadays I think it's different because we're like so used to that sort of like environment that now WoW becomes like more of a social or like a solo experience, like more solitary. And I think that's the problem, is it's hard for players to get into games now and like be social about it because they're not used to that anymore. It's not like exciting and new anymore. So it's just like, why would I get in this game and ask people to join up to do a dungeon together? Like, I don't want to do that. Which is weird. Anyway, so yeah, I think the reason WoW connected really well with me is because, one, I was meeting a bunch of people online. I was playing roleplay servers, so I was like role playing and stuff, which was really fun. And also, like, it was the first time I had played a game like that where you like had a whole shared world and you were like progressing in it together and like meeting up with friends to see how they were doing, and like you had like set goals to do dungeons together, and like I don't know, it was so good, and it was just so huge to like explore. And like we used to set up, like, my brothers and I would like set up our laptops like on the weekends and play like all weekend long. Over summer, like, we used to go to my grandparents' house and we'd like hide up in, they have like this little like cubby crawl space in like our attic, in their attic, where they like store a bunch of like canned goods and like all their like food stuff that they don't need immediately. So we would like hide in there and like play WoW like all day long, and it would get so freaking hot and we would just we didn't care, we just played all day. Final Fantasy's better in my opinion. I don't know, I can't get into it. First, I literally can't get into Final Fantasy. I tried. I was itching to play a game where I could heal last week, and so I was looking for an MMO, and I wanted to play ESO first. That was my first start. But every single time I open ESO, I have like a 100 gig update to download, and it takes like 6 hours for some reason. And so by the time it's done downloading, I don't have time to play anymore, and then I don't feel like playing anymore because I'm frustrated with it. So I wait like 2-3 weeks, a month, whatever, before I try playing again, and then I have another download. So it's just like, I just waste so much bandwidth trying to keep up with ESO. So I've given up on it. I'm done with that game. So I tried Final Fantasy actually, because I kept hearing that was like really good for healing. So I tried jumping into that, and I spent 35 minutes, I timed it, trying to recover my account and figure out what the hell what's it called? Short-term fast password? I don't know what it's called. Quick password? I don't know. Whatever they called it. That password thing was, until I finally figured out, oh, it's just, 2FA. But they didn't want to say that for some reason. I don't know why. Or like, what's it called? An authenticator password. The one-time password, that's the one. Thank you. Yeah, I've never set one up, and I don't ever recall setting up an authenticator for Final Fantasy, so I had no idea what to do or where to go. So I tried recovering my password or my account, and you have to not only remember your security question, which they give you 4 options to like get to remember which one you chose, and I don't remember. I could tell you the answer to all those. But every time I picked one and then put in the answer, what I know would be the right answer, it told me either the question was wrong or the answer was wrong. And I tried all 4 of them and tried what I know would be the answer in all 4 of them, and it was always wrong. And I still, every single time I tried this, I didn't know my one-time password was, or how to get it. And I've checked all of my authenticator apps and I don't have it anywhere, so I don't even know where to do that. So anyway, and then if you go to like help or whatever to like get help on that, it's like a freaking 1995 website. Like, their website is absolutely awful. I gave up after 35 minutes of trying to get in. I was like, I am absolutely done with this. And then I finally I was talking to Matt, and I was like, I was like, I think I'm just gonna play WoW again because it's like the easiest to like I can play WoW in like 2 clicks, right? Like I don't have to worry about anything. And when you're downloading WoW, you literally download for like 2 minutes and then you can play, and then it downloads everything else in the background while you're playing. And it's like, why don't games just do this now? Like, why does ESO require you to spend like 6 hours downloading 100 gigs every time you want to play? Like, it's so stupid. And I also Googled that, by the way, and it's because they don't have a good enough, or they have an old like file parsing tool or something that like doesn't let them just update files that have changed. It has to re-download every file, or not every file, but like most files that have changed, instead of just updating the files like Steam does, for example. So yeah, I don't know. I finally just gave up, and then I was talking to Matt, and Matt was like, I could be interested in trying WoW, and I was like, okay, that's it, we're playing WoW. So the next day we spent all day playing WoW, and I paid $15, and I'm not even upset. So yeah, I would have loved to play any of the other MMOs, but I couldn't because they make it impossible to play. Okay, let's do this. Oh, we need to fix that. If you don't have anything selected, there's no skill tree. Okay, Mystic. Also, why is our mastery limit showing 25, 30? Okay, 12. We got our first skill point. We unlock Mystic Shield. Cool. Now we close this. Now we have total skill points 26. That's excellent. I think we had a bug there and we never fixed that. Let's see. Sapling staff, right? Dude, fine. And then we need to equip it. And drop these random fish. These are all the fish I caught while I was trying to catch that lockjaw, by the way. So there's my proof that I actually did it. I'm just dropping stuff so we don't have so much junk in our inventory right now. Okay. We have sapling staff equipped. We need a healing spell. I don't think we can just heal. Well, let's switch over to, first of all, let's get rid of this weather. Okay, let's get this guy hurt. Or let's hang the game for 10 seconds. I was gonna fight a crab, but I can just do that. Okay, so if I heal you now, that's not triggering order. Or maybe it, oh, it is. Wait. Oh, I know what's happening. Oh, that activated the ability. Okay. Okay, we have a handful of things going on. First of all, this needs to be turned off now. We're gonna try to handle this all in gameplay effects. Not touch this and not touch this, or not touch the code at all. Interesting that worked there, though. So yeah, we're getting the heal order when we heal there. I don't know if we're doing that anywhere else. But also, if you didn't notice, it did not trigger the first time we healed, which is weird because we should have had the passive. So what happened here? So we triggered heal order, which would have triggered this, I assume. I think the problem is that I think we granted this tag static magic shield. I think maybe I don't know why this didn't trigger immediately. This might have been granted and then not triggered until yeah, I think this is right. I think Moz was right. This is not checking for this until this ability is already active and then the tag gets added. Which would explain why the first time I healed, it probably added the tag and granted the effect or the ability. But then the second time I healed, it should have triggered this. Let's test again and see if we can pinpoint what's happening. I'm pretty sure we can trigger the ability based on a tag, which means we could even do a thing where like man, I hate to do it, but I think we could even just like add a third step in our chain or effect chain. I'm gonna die. Damn it. Can you do some damage to me? No. I don't have pathing, which is actually good because it means I can walk away when I've taken enough damage. One more. Okay. The first time I think we've added the effect, or added the ability, but haven't triggered it yet. I don't know. I don't get it. Why is it not triggering every time? Oh, maybe I need to give it an ability tag? I need to make an ability for it, probably. Let's do ability dot magic shield. Activation required tags. This ability can only be activated if the activating actor / component has all these tags. Okay. So let's do source required tags, and let's do prevention. Tags to apply to activating owner. Ability triggers. Yeah, so what I'm thinking now is present probably means that it gets removed. Yeah, removed when it's removed. Added, yeah, that's the difference. So it is the tooltip is actually correct then. It's not a mistake. The difference is that, yeah, if it's present, the ability cancels when we lose the tag. When it's added, we don't cancel the ability if the tag gets lost. We just add it once. Okay, so what does this mean for us now? We did trigger it once because the tag was added after the ability was granted. There's a I'm kind of thinking we might try the execution route. Heal order. Let's go to GE Magic Shield. We add an execution on here. All right, so if we do an execution, we have this proc called proc damage. I think we could duplicate this. And we have this execute. Execution is not triggering on some effects procking from other effects. I don't know if that's set up a workaround by not needing this to proc on secondary effects. Will you lose out on some XP, but buff icon should automatically work now. Okay, but if we duplicate this, we can try to trigger the ability with this. Trigger ability, and then we'll just, sure, let's do that, and then we'll open it, delete all this. And we'll do variable I don't know what to call it. We want gameplay ability, what? Gameplay ability class reference. Okay, and in this case, we want this to be, this is like the master. But we'll just make this, since we might not ever actually make another child for this, who knows? This is going to be shield. Magic shield. How do I get instigator, actor, and then effect causer? I do not know the difference between these. Wouldn't instigator beholds the opponent? Okay, so effect causer. Let's just put this is either caster. Let's do, this is the actual actor. Yeah, so let's do get ability. Actually, hold on, let's not do that. Let's look for is it not called trigger ability? What's it called? Try activate ability by class. That's what we want. Let's do one more. Let's do trigger on target. And let's do a Boolean. And we'll do a select. Damn it. Select here. This goes here. Like that. Oh, so here's another thing, is we also cannot then input... Oh no, this is just activating the ability, not granting it. So, interesting. I didn't think about this, but when you activate ability, you don't choose the magnitude then or level then. You do it when it's granted. But yeah, I think this will work. I hope there this might not replicate. I don't know. I think it will, because it's gas and it's an execution. So I think that the gameplay effect is like automatically replicated, and therefore any executions running off it should just run on the server and be replicated. But I could be wrong. Okay, and then we can make children of this and just swap out trigger on target and the gameplay ability of the triggers. So if we need to more stuff, we can. Interesting, we can also get like buff information if we need to. So we could technically get like, yeah, no, I think we're fine. I'm a little concerned that this execution will happen afterward as well, so we won't have access to the ability yet. Which is possible. And then we're in the exact same boat we're already in. So the only thing I could think there is we would then call a function on the player character, I guess, or the BP character that like attempts to activate it, and if it fails, then we wait like a split second and do it again, like wait one frame and do it again, because that would mean that we haven't applied the tag yet that's required, which is stupid. So this also means we want to go back to our shield ability and turn off this, because now we're going to handle this manually. Let's put a tag here or a comment here that says magic shield passive is triggered via execution function on the GE passive order shield. All other instances hopefully this makes sense to me in the future. Sometimes I read comments and I'm like, what is this even supposed to mean? Okay, so now we don't care about the execution. Passive. Right, this is the one we grant the ability still. No, yes. Yes, granting the ability and then hopefully executing it afterward. We should just make a child of this right now. So we have it, and we know what the hell this is doing when we see it. Okay, I guess now let's test it. This is a lot more work than I expected to get this one like shield up effect up, but this is something I wanted to put in the game for a while, so once it works, so we can add a spell for it too. We can add like multiple spells for it because it should be plug and play once it's like actually in. Let's fly, but only go to like here. Even that might be a little high. God, fall damage is so inconsistent and stupid. I think it needs to be a lot more linear. Okay, heal, 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 heal. Nothing's triggering. Okay, let's go to our. Let's go in here and toggle. Not triggering. What the hell? Heal order. Conditional. Oh wait, we still have the. Hold on, maybe we don't have. Am I stupid? Maybe this was. God. Maybe this was working and we just don't have the passive anymore. We do. Okay. Hopefully it's actually being applied. Let's go to. Can't do that right now. Alright, so why would this not be being applied then? Heal order should definitely be triggering, so why would we not? This should definitely be triggering. Our passive order magic shield. So passive order magic shield right here. I don't see any reason why this wouldn't be triggering. Why? We have an execute, but this execute doesn't give us access to this spec handle. That's why we have this. Let's just see if this is printing, or this is triggering, I guess. I would love to set up a chat command that just lets me take damage. That'd be very useful. Also, sometimes I just test this next to a campfire, which would also save us some time. Even that's not triggering. Dude, what the hell? What's going on here? I wonder if we're not actually reapplying our passive. Hang on, I know how to test this. Let's go, set stop, I guess. Heal, order, prevention. Can't keep track of all the stuff I have open anymore. Did I close this one? No, I'm dumb. Let's add a modifier. Let's do max health. Add 100. If it works now, we should be giving the player more health, or max health, every time we heal them. Yep, it's working. They have 145 health now. So that's working, so why the hell is it not triggering the execution? Maybe... Where's passed in tags? Oh, that means... Yes, I do. I don't know. Maybe this is working and it's just not triggering the breakpoint. And something else is going wrong. I don't know. That will suck though if that's the case, because if I can't break here, then it's gonna be a lot harder to figure out what's going on. Let's just double check our stuff again. 100% no. If we have passive class mystic prevention, then we're triggering that passive order. The max health is being added, and that's working. Only worked the first time though for some reason. Okay. Yeah, this should be working. I don't understand. Okay, yeah, I was a little nervous for a second that just didn't get set up, but I'm gonna lie, it seems absolutely fair that if I have to fight a boss, that I jump into a jacuzzi first to bring me to my maximum health spa before fight. Yeah. I think that checks out. Oops. Hello? God damn it. My finger does not like the shift key. I'm gonna die again. There we go. Alright, watching print strings this time. Nothing. I don't understand. What is happening? I mean, he's getting his extra health. Like, I'm confirming that's working. He has 45 health. I heal him. Oh, I don't heal him. He has 150 health. But he definitely has his extra health, so it's triggering that. It's just not triggering the execution. It's not printing anything. Why is it not triggering the execution? Maybe... I don't know. Okay, well, the last thing I can think to do is stupidly add a third step onto this. It'd be nice if this, when we grant the ability, had a conditional tag. We don't. Am I missing something somewhere? Maybe this isn't happening because there's no conditional gameplay effects. Seems kind of silly. Required source tags. I guess one last shot. If this doesn't work, then I'm kind of stuck here. I don't know. This part of gas frustrates me. The tags can feel like magic sometimes. Yeah, I don't understand why the execution isn't triggering. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me at all, because it triggers on other things. Like, I have other abilities, other passives that I have. I duplicated that, the one that does work. Still nothing. Okay, so now I'm wondering... No, because we definitely have the ability. Or the passive. What I was thinking is maybe we just don't have the passive. This passive that's required. But we must have it because... Did I do this in the wrong place? Hold on. No, it's over here. I don't know. Are there tags preventing it? No, I don't have any prevention tags. The thing is, where this is calling the execution. I'm adding 100 to my health, and that's working. I'm seeing my health. Or the target's health is going up to 100, up by 100. Whenever I heal them, it goes up for 100 for 5 seconds. Though, so this is being triggered. So the heal right here is triggering this GE passive order magic shield. GE passive order magic shield. That's giving them extra health, so I know this is working. But it's not triggering this execution. I do not know why. Custom execution class to run when the gameplay effect executes. it's not triggering. I'm not seeing a print string. I'm not breaking on it. Like, it's not happening at all. I'm kind of tempted. Maybe child classes don't work or something for some reason with executions. So it's not triggering this. Maybe we go back to not using the child class. I don't think that's going to matter, but we'll try it, I guess. But even like... I guess we did take off the execution on the ability, so it wouldn't be working now anyway, even if this was working. No, it would work, I mean. Okay. Heal, absolutely nothing. He has 135 health. Now he has 45 health. He has 150 health. I don't know. I have no idea. We can go back into our character, I guess. Put a breakpoint in here. Actually, I think we're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to. This is just gonna have to be done janky. Like, we're not gonna do this through gas. This is exactly why, like, I don't know. I know this should be doable through gas. This 100% should be. It might just take some C++. And Maz was saying I could just add that into C++, into the ability or something. And maybe this is worth doing in this situation, so we can do this more often in the future. Though, honestly, I think we're getting to the point where this kind of stuff is not super relevant anymore. Because our mechanics are, like, almost finished, you know? Like, I don't even know if it's worth... Okay, trigger here. So it did not trigger, but now I guarantee if I do it again, I have to take more damage again. I bet this breaks here. Mind? This is status effect, positive magic shield. And this is looking for the person who's being healed, which means we need to be applying that to the target to get this to trigger, and that has to be applied here. So let's get rid of this modifier because that's not doing anything. Obviously this effect class is not doing anything, so we can get rid of that. Oh wait, oops. Conditional gameplay effects. That's an execution though. Okay. No executions, that's not working. I don't know why it's not working. I truly do not know why. And then we have granted tags. Yeah, status effect, positive magic shield. So why is this not granting? Oh, and then we do have a duration, 5 seconds. So this is probably the issue here. That was probably longer than 5 seconds between those two heals. Let's try it again. We can take more damage this time. We really need to we should really just take like the 10 minutes it'll take to like make a new command to take damage. Need enough damage so we can heal twice. At least twice. Okay, ready? 1, 2, there it is. So the first time what happens is this runs through all the code because we've changed the character's health loop. And then after the health gets changed, to say, okay, we don't have the status effect or whatever. And then after the health's been changed, then it goes, okay, now let's apply that status effect. Then it applies the status effect. So the next time it gets healed, now we catch it. So the only thing I can think here is we do some even jankier stuff. Where, I don't know. We could, I guess we could check to see if the... I don't have access to the caster. I only have access to the player being healed here, but we could input the caster. If we had the caster, then we could check to see if the caster has the class tag. Instigator. I died during that certain battle. What the hell? I'm so glad I died. Congratulations on meeting the Watchers. The Watchers will play another small role in the game when we get Twitch support in, which will be exciting. Yeah, I think the death, like the failure case is actually pretty cool. And I don't know if you noticed, but you also have a buff, which does not tell you what the buff actually gives you, which kind of sucks. But you can check your stats, and you'll have a pretty nice, I think, resilience and I don't know, maybe regen or something buff. I don't know what it is. But yeah, I'm glad you got to experience that. When I watched Pearl play it live, and she beat it the first try, and I was like, we need to make this harder. So we we ramped up the difficulty, and then her and I tried it together, and we lost. And then she got to experience the Watchers too. I think it's pretty cool. Took like an extra like 3 days of work to set that up, so I'm glad. I hope it was worth it, because it was a lot of work. It was totally epic. Cool. I thought so too. Okay, let's see. Now we need to find where this is being ran through. Shit, we don't have one here. So right here, I can't have an instigator actor because it's happening through. It can't work. This actually, no, can't work because that is being handled. If we go back. If I remember correctly, yeah, there's no way to get an instigator here, and this is happening whenever a gameplay effect, which means every single heal. Whenever the player is healed, this gets triggered. We don't have any information about who just healed them. How the hell do we do this now? I can only think of like one way to handle this, and it's hard coding in like a shield, or like just adding a shield component to all characters that will just listen for that gameplay tag at all times, or just giving them the ability in the beginning, I guess. Oh my god, why don't we just think of that? We can just give them, or like, okay, is it in game ability system, or is it in here? In here, isn't it? If we just give them this ability, then it'll just work from the beginning. Then we don't have to grant it. It's just, every player will just have the ability. And then it just won't trigger unless they get the tag. Like, seems silly. Like, why not just do that? And now we just go back into our class defaults here, and we do triggers we do GA shield? No, do we do ability shield to trigger it? Or let's do status effect shield. Present. And then we can even do another print string here on end ability and make sure it actually is being ended properly. And this is not working anymore. We'll just take that thing off. We can do another comment to explain how this works if it works. This thing doesn't work at all. I have no idea why, because the other execution does work. Cancel. Delete this. No, okay, that's fine. These are just gonna sit here and do nothing, I guess. I really need to delete them. GE passive. I thought we took it off here. Yeah, it's not on here anymore. I don't know why that would be. Okay, now it's not on anything, I guess, but can't delete them yet. Oh, probably because I have them open. Yes. Okay. Goodbye. Good riddance. Check everything out. Let's test this again now. I'm pretty sure the heal will work and will attempt to trigger our... I guess we can still use the gameplay. Oh no, we don't need to use the gameplay ability. Because now we can... Okay, never mind. This will just work now. Because we can literally just give the shield. But we still need to do this. We still need to do this shield because we want to not trigger this 100%. But this should just work this time. So we just trigger this. We should show a buff for it for the duration. When it goes away, the thing goes away. Okay, we don't need to worry about giving it this now. This goes away too. Shit. We don't have a way to trigger the level now if we do like this, because we're granting it on start. Actually, maybe it's fine because we can probably modify the level when we grant it later. Oh, I should have eaten that faster. It's very cold now. Have to work tomorrow. It's getting late here. An absolute blast. Can't wait to be back home tomorrow to explore more. Finally find that mount everyone is searching for. Yeah, good luck, Boring. Have fun. Get some sleep. Thanks for hanging out. Very glad you're enjoying the game. Okay, so this one... Yeah, this needs to happen. I think it's gonna work. I'm just worried about, because we can't even specify a level for it. It's just, this is just what we have. I wonder if you can just like set a level for an ability. I assume you can. I'm gonna die. Nope. Okay, I just realized we don't need like this thing. We don't want this anymore, but so we'll just take this off. This is gonna like spawn a shield and like look cool and everything, but it's not what we want it to happen, so that's okay. We'll take that off, but this should break. My dude, why are you not breaking on the ability? Why is the ability not being added now? This should be working. Do this trigger tag. Don't get it. There is like a can activate ability. Maybe this is just failing or something. Set through it again. Okay, heal will always grant this passive order magic shield if you have the passive. Hold on. This is interesting. Okay, source tags. Yeah, never mind. Okay. And then passive shield grants this magic shield tag. Duration 5 seconds. 100% chance to apply to target. Nothing else should be going on in here. We should see a buff. That's it. No granted abilities, nothing. We already have, BP character already has the ability granted now. Get rid of this. We are seeing the status effects. They definitely have it. So why is it not triggering on the gameplay ability? Why is it like, why is this so difficult? Let's try one more time, I guess. I don't see any reason this shouldn't be working. I just feel like this kind of stuff is like so much easier to set up in blueprints. Like gas is just like, it's like this weird, it really is just like magic. Like there's like, it's like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, and I don't really understand why and when. Like, I'm not getting anything, but like why? I have the tag. It's being applied for 5 seconds, so like why is this not triggering? Okay, maybe I've screwed up by making this gameplay ability a parent or a child of something else that I don't understand. Let's go in here and just do gameplay ability, I guess. Shouldn't change anything. Everything should be the exact same, yeah. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I know what's going on. I just remember what's going on. BP player character overrides their abilities. So they have a different set of abilities, and we have to add them in both places. Right here. So dumb. What? Now it's not showing up. I guess it does need to inherit from ability base. Now it's there. I mean, it's probably not there here either anymore. It is. We got 30 minutes to get this working. And it's probably not gonna like work. Because I'm also just realizing that like, yeah, we'll have a gameplay ability, but like, I'm still gonna have to. We should not be doing this way. I'm still gonna have to spawn a component so I can track how much health it has and stuff. Boom. We have an ability. My god. Hit play. 2 abilities. Server and client. Okay. And then 5 seconds, and we should have. Beautiful. Cool. Sheesh. Okay, but now the tricky part is we got that working. Thank god, finally. The thing is, we have this spell or this BPC. Where'd it go? Did I close it? Right here. Yeah, we still have to spawn this. Because as much as I really wanted to handle everything in the gameplay ability, there's no way for me, as far as I know, to track how much damage the shield has taken. Yeah, like, so we can handle the duration there, but I need to handle, so we, like, for example, we don't really need this. Which is good. Okay. And we don't need this. But I do need to do this. I need to spawn. I mean, we could technically spawn this. It's gonna be so much easier to like. Oh man, how do we do this? I just realized that I don't think this is gonna work. I don't think this is gonna work. Like, I don't think this whole thing is gonna work. Because let's go back over here and let's take a look at this. This is triggering whenever a gameplay effect triggers to modify this is when your health is changed, this happens. The only thing I can do here is when your health is changed, I can't do anything here. This is like, damn, like health is already handled here. Like your health is already changed. Meaning you're gonna take damage regardless. And then we can, like, there's nowhere we can like hook into this and like before your health is changed, like check to see if you have this thing. The only thing I can think is we make the player invulnerable, right? But that means that there's no way to like tick down damage on the shield. Like we can't have it take a certain amount of damage. So the only thing I can do is literally make a player invincible for X amount of time. That's all I can do. Or I can heal the player again after they take the damage, but even that, like, if they died from it, like if they just take like 1,000 damage in one hit for something, they're like taking fall damage, and like your mystic's like, yo, let me shield you while you're falling to your death, and then you get shielded and you take 500 damage. You'll take that damage, die, and then it'll attempt to heal them back that damage, but that's all I can do here. So the only thing I can think is we just straight up just make them invulnerable for X amount of time. What about a shield that delays the damage you take? You can't. The problem is that, so I have all of this stuff that I can work on, right? But like, all of that sits on top of gas. Gas is down here on like a sub level, right? And it does its own calculations and everything first, and then I just get reported on what happened. So what happens is there's no, like, I cannot tap without C++. I'm sure I can do it with C++. Maybe I'll ask Golfer to help me with this. I don't know. Or maybe I'll ask Moz. I don't know. Because I don't know how else I would do this. Underneath like the layer here, that's where like if a player gets like burnt by fire, right? A gameplay effect triggers that fire and then automatically changes the health. So we have this event right here that reacts to health when it's changed, and then I can tell like, okay, cool, player's been damaged or whatever. Oh, we are using the death ability here. Oh. Well, it doesn't matter because this would be false already. I guess I could cancel the death ability here and then just heal the player back up. What does the live actually do? Okay, so I could technically heal the player back up before they actually trigger death, but like that would I just think that's going to feel bad, and it's going to trigger other issues if you're like actually taking the damage and then just getting it back again. I don't know. What are our options? Can the shield prevent X amount of hits instead of damage or amounts of damage? No. Because, so if this was just like players taking hits from enemies, this would all work just fine. If this would just shield you from like a player or an enemy like slashing you with a sword or whatever, that's all happened. Most of that is all happening in Blueprint. It's not a gameplay effect that's triggering that, which at one point I was like, this is stupid. Why is this not all gameplay effects handling all of this? Because we should do that. But I'm kind of glad it's not, because this is the kind of stuff where that breaks. The reason is because anything that happens with gas, any like spell effect, any burn effect, any status effect, poison, anything like that, that does like damage over time, or anything that just like triggers your, like damages you. And it's weird, but there's like two layers, right? There's like the enemy like hitting you with a sword, and we like calculate damage and everything, and then we just deal damage directly. That works fine. I can handle all that. I can mitigate all that. I can do all that stuff, right? That's where this thing over here comes in. This is where unapply damage. This happens. We check to see if it's a heal, yada, 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 etc., etc. This is where all that stuff happens. Like, if I can put a breakpoint here, this will trigger when we take like fall damage. Won't trigger if we like fly into fire or something. You know what? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe this does actually trigger on all of them before, but I'm like 99% sure it doesn't. I'm pretty sure what's happening is the gameplay effect is immediately triggering damage or changing your health. We're going here. Let's see. Well, I guess we'll see like if this triggers it first. Okay, that triggers it fine, right? So this is great. So in here we could just say like, oh snap, you just took some damage. Damage your shield instead, right? Here it is right here. Well, right here. So we can say, hey, we just took some damage, yada yada. Do we have a shield up? We do have a shield up. Great, let's damage the shield, right? This is not it. But down here we go. Damage our shield, right? And that would work. And then we damage the shield, we don't take any damage, and then we like output back out and say like, hey, don't do any damage or something, and then we can just, you know, whatever. And that's fine. The problem is, now let's go over. Hello? What is my character doing? That was weird. We need a campfire. Oh my god. Where's fire or anything? I need some way to take damage that's like lava. There's a lava cave. I don't know if it's loaded though. There's fire. Oh, sorry. I forgot you guys were not able to see this. My bad. Sorry. The first time that triggered this from we felt, we took fall damage. I don't know why my brain is not connecting that you can't see this today. That first time I took fall damage, that's what triggered the damage. So we could mitigate that with the shield. That would be fine. That's easy to mitigate. Here, though, see how this is not triggering that? We're not breakpointing on that. But it does break on this. Go back. How's it doing this? Oh my god, why? Thank you. Here. I put a breakpoint here. Hello. I go back. Oh, other guy. We walk in the fire. Boom. Does trigger here. The problem is, this damage, this is telling me I took -2 damage. This has already set our health. Our health has already changed. So what that means is some sources of damage, unbeknownst to the player, like it'll be hard for the player to know which will properly damage the shield, and others will not. So the only thing I can do you know what? Okay, here's an option. One option is we make the player invincible. Okay? For a short amount of time, right? And the shield can also be broken. But the shield only takes damage from certain sources, like physical damage, right? It doesn't get damage by things like burning and stuff like that, which means this would not damage the shield. Actually, yeah, anything coming through here, if you had a shield up, this would not trigger because it wouldn't apply the effect. So like burning, for example, if you were invulnerable, the effect would not get applied, meaning the shield would not take damage from it. But if you took fall damage or got hit in the face with an axe, that would take shield damage because that would be triggered in the other spot, what the other spot was, the weird set. This one. That gets triggered here. So there's update health from GEs, from gameplay effects. This is like poison effects, direct spell damage, things like that. Mostly like area of effect damage, stuff like that. Anything that just like triggers a gameplay effect. And then everything else is like fall damage, I believe getting hit by like a weapon, like an enemy, things like that. Which is like, to be fair, this is like 90% of the damage you take. So maybe it wouldn't be a big deal and players would never notice the difference, because most of your big damage is coming from this anyway. And most physical damage doesn't go through gameplay effects. So maybe what we do is we, on apply damage, we do check and damage the shield here. But actually, we would just do it and handle passive effects. That would be fine. We just damage the shield here. And then when the shield gets done, we are invulnerable again. I don't even know if invulnerability like prevents this damage here. We'd probably have to make a new. We have a damage immune. Here it is, right here. So status damage immune, not. So if we have this status damage immune, which the shield could apply, then everything comes through here, which means it never even gets to this guy here. Which means we would just add the shield effect on here. We just make a new function for the shield effect specifically that lives on here, that just checks for that shield. And if you have a shield component, it'll damage the shield. And then when the shield gets destroyed or runs or fades out, like it runs out of time, it'll be destroyed then it'll be removed. It just means that it's going to be inconsistent damage. So players could literally just stand in fire and poison and whatever that's just doing passive damage over time, or gameplay effect related damage over time forever until the shield runs out of time, like lifetime, and then it'll break, and players would know better. But luckily, the majority of that damage is not a ton of damage, and it'll run out of time anyway. Like the shields will only last like 5 seconds or so, probably at the most. So like maybe we just let this go. Maybe we just give the players a little bit of leeway on this one, and we just make it work anyway. It's a physical damage shield. I think it works fine. The problem is that there are situations, I guarantee there's gonna be situations where gameplay effects are applying physical damage and players. But the thing is, I'm not gonna show when the shield is damaged. I mean, I was thinking about having it like fade out so it gets more faint, but I might just do that over time. And then if it gets broken before that, and I'll just say like shields can break if they take too much damage, right? If we just put that into the description, we don't have to like define like how much damage or whatever. It just works. And then if we have spells, the shield can just have different durations. So we can have like, it can even just be like shield duration scales on, or scales with your willpower or something. Or scales with your order class or whatever. It doesn't matter. With your order level. So you just get longer shields. And the longest shield would probably be like, 8 seconds. And the shortest would be like 3 or something. So we just scale between like 3 and 8 seconds based on like level 0 to level 50. Wouldn't be a big deal. I was going for a bit. We were talking about weapon or spell. This is a passive that gets applied if you have the passive skill unlocked. Whenever you heal an ally. We have 15 minutes. Should we set up a new function in here that just does this? It sucks because we have this handle status in here, which is where I'd want to do it, but if you're invulnerable, I feel like that makes the most sense to just apply that. So let's go to our GE shield, not GA, we want GE magic shield, and go up here, and we also grant damage immune. This is a little bit sketchy, not gonna lie to you. Anytime we add damage immune to something, it makes me a little nervous, because if there's a bug and it doesn't get like removed, you are now immune until you restart your game essentially, or die, and you can't die, so you're now invulnerable. So we need to move this to a new function. We could also, no, I think we need to leave that alone. Okay, so yeah, let's move, let's just right click and collapse to a function. And let's just call this handle magic shield. Get rid of that, go back again. On apply damage, if we're status immune, we want to handle our magic shield here. And we need to input damage. So yeah, we're adding the shield with a health and duration here, and we need to also figure that out, because can we do like get gameplay ability or something? Get a like ability and then get the level on it? How can we do this? Oh, this is also, oh, this is stupid. This is adding the shield. We don't want to do this. Adding the shield should happen in the component. Or no, the component gets added by the ability now. So if there's no gameplay component, we don't want to make one. We just do nothing. Okay. If we have a shield, if we have a component attached, if our damage is more than 0, then we damage the shield. This is very likely not going to be replicated correctly. But maybe that's fine, because it could just handle the shield locally. I can't see a way where players would like be able to like cheese that, really. Like, it's such a short-lived thing. Like, you'd have to like, if you're gonna do that, you'd just cheat in other ways. So I don't think it'd be fine. I think it'd be just fine. So if we just kept the shield local, then we can locally just say, like, when the shield gets destroyed, it's already attached to a character. The character exists on the server, and we can and for other players, so we can just call an RPC function on the character to like destroy, like remove the shield if we need to. Oh no, we don't have to do that because the gameplay will handle it. So this is all fine. This will just fail out then, and the shield, this will go away. Okay, so I think this will just work. It would be really nice. Maybe we need to like bind to when we damage the shield. I think we need, yeah, let's do this. Let's make an event to special. Let's call shield damaged or shield destroyed. And we have a destroy component, but let's not do this. Let's do this. Let's say handled on GA magic shield. We technically don't even need this function anymore because it's only happening on take damage, because we were doing it on an event tick and we were doing it wherever, like on the timer. But like, let's just get rid of these actually. We'll just put that note here instead. It's so nice when these like calls have a note on them, so I know where to go to find them. Okay, let's go. How do we get access to our owner? We have AI controller, AI target. I don't know what these are. I don't know. It's a physical damage shield. I think it works fine. Yes, I think it works. Yeah, I think this will be fine. It'll just be a little more lenient, I guess. As long as it's like behind the scenes and players can't see that some damage is affecting it, some isn't, then it won't be a big deal. I foresee like a future where some players like, oh, I noticed that if I take a bunch of damage from this thing, it never breaks my shield, but if I just take like 2 or 3 hits from this one enemy, it breaks my shield. But I'm taking more damage from this, how come the shield's not breaking? Then I can, you know, we can just make something up or just explain like, yeah, it's a bug and we're leaving it alone, so just enjoy being able to soak up all that damage from that one source. Like, I don't know, because I can't fix it. There's the only way I know to like I could fix it is if I figured out how to get like executions working the right way, like actually using them, and then we could calculate all of the damage done before, like in all the GEs, which would be a nightmare to do, but we could calculate the damage and actually do damage calculation correctly the right way, instead of doing it like directly. Right now, one of the things that I really wish we would have not done this way, and I don't know if this is a better solution or if this is just a jankier solution. I do think executions are probably the right way to do it. But I think what we're doing is when we take damage in a GE, we're modifying health directly, which is directly then like triggering like death and stuff like that, right? Like as we saw in the BP character, like this is all, we go back here, right here, like when damage is changed, we check to see if our health is greater than 0. If it's not, then we do the death ability right here. So all of the damage stuff, like our health is being set here, we're listening to it and we're like changing our I don't even know where I think the health bar is just like listening to like health changes, things like that. But like, anyway, but what I wish we would have done instead is, instead of directly setting health, is I wish we would have done like a second layer. So we have like maybe like you have like raw health, which would not be like a stat, and then you just have like current health or something like that, and we could directly change current health, and then we would see that change on here or whatever, right? And that would happen, and then we would go in here and calculate whatever we need to do, whatever calculations in a blueprint, and then we would go, okay, now let's set our health. And where it actually sets our health, that's our actual raw health that we're actually setting at the end of the day. So we can do all the calculations we need to, modifications, whatever, beforehand, and then our health is actually set. So our actual attribute for health is like reflecting that, but it's not the same. And then I guess we could update that. I don't know. I guess it also, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there needs to be another layer so we can have more access to it in Blueprint. And I'm sure if you're using C++ with gas like you're kind of intended to, then this would be silly to do, because it's like, well, just do that in C++. That's the whole point. So just build an execution in C++ that handles all that stuff the right way before it even touches this. And then this health changed happens after the fact. So in C++, you would have like a hook that says like, handle your passive events from your health triggers, whatever. every time your health changes or something. And then that happens in C++, and then we can run it with Blueprint if we wanted to change things. Anyway, sorry. The reason I care so much about doing this the right way is because one day I do plan on making a new game, and I plan on using gas, and I want to make sure that like it gets done in a more efficient way next time, with now that I have experience in it. And again, the way we're doing it is fine for the game we were building at the time. And I don't blame anyone for like building it wrong. It's just none of us really knew what we were doing at the time, so it was all kind of whatever. Okay, well, where are we at now? So magic shield. We need to figure out how to get the actor. Get avatar actor info. What do we do with this now? Is this just a, what is this? Just an actor, okay. The avatar actor is the pawn or character that owns the ability. Yet owner actor is the ASC owner, which is the same. Okay, so we'll do get component by class. We'll look for our shield component is valid. We're gonna do add component by class. Also, sorry, Odd, hello, welcome in. How you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while. I have been kind of off, like I've been streaming 2 or 3 times a week, but I just have not like been on Twitch other than when I'm streaming, you know. And this is where we care about the ability level. Now, the question is, how do we modify the ability level based on how this is cast? Because when we cast it through our passive, the passive can trigger it, and that should be raw. Like that just is what it is. It's a 5-second duration. It should just be level 1. This should just be the base, right? And that's fine. I think that should be working. The thing is that how do we do this? Hold on, I think we can get access to our gameplay effect though. So we can get the level of the shield. So GE magic shield. This level is what we care about. I think we can get this. But not this. We don't want this anymore, right? Oh, I wonder if you grant... I wonder if you grant an ability at a different level after a player already has an ability, if it just updates the level. If it works sort of like a map. And focusing more on dev than streaming. Hey, that's fine. I mean, I do that too. I stream like 3 days a week, and I usually only stream for like 2 to 4 hours. Depending on what I'm doing. But I work like, 40 hours a week on this. Maybe not 40 anymore. It's more probably closer to like 25 to 30 hours a week right now. This week it's been more like 20 because I started playing WoW again. Maybe less than 20, maybe like 10. We'll see. Yeah, I started playing on the MOP Classic. I'm like level 20 on one character, but I'm playing with another friend who's just playing for the first time, and so he's like, okay, I kind of like the hunter, wish we didn't do Worgen. So then he's like, is it okay if we reroll? And I'm like, sure, let's do that. Like, we're just kind of learning, it's fine. So we rerolled again, and then we got to like level 15, and he played a mage, and he's like, I don't really like the like standing still cast time thing. I want something a little more active. Can we reroll? And I'm like, sure. So we rerolled again. Now we're playing some panda. He's playing a shaman, and he's starting to like the shaman a lot. So I think we're gonna stick with the shaman, but I'm playing an alt that I can just kind of play without having to worry about him. when he's not available because he has a job and a life and I don't. So sometimes love me some WoW. Yeah, have you still been playing, or are you back on hiatus? I know you were playing before and you invited me and I wasn't like ready to commit. Never messed with MOP, always a vanilla TBC. Okay. Well, so tell me, maybe I'm wrong, but I think how they're doing it is they have like vanilla classic, and then they have vanilla classic, and then they're like made a branch from that, and then that one they're like progressing. And I think because as far as I know, it was called Cataclysm classic, and then like the 21st I think of last month they like advanced it. Vanilla, then classic, then anniversary. Right. But they've got Mists of Pandaria classic now. They're all just reboots of the original, but now at different phases. Got it. So did they just? But like it's weird because like my launcher, when it made a desktop icon, and the desktop icon's called Cataclysm Classic. So I was trying to figure out what that meant, because I assumed that meant that it was Cataclysm, and then they they released like the expansion to like go from Cataclysm to Mists. I don't know. There is a lot of different versions. It's kind of crazy that they're like okay with splitting their player base so much. I guess they don't care because I don't know actually. Like it's definitely got to hurt like. Maybe not raiding and stuff, but it definitely hurts like dungeon finders and stuff, right? If you like split your player base too much, then you're like stuck with like, you know, only a couple hundred people playing one version or whatever at a time. I mean, I have a level 57 rogue in anniversary and considering playing when they do TBC. Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm enjoying where I'm at now because I think Mists has like a perfect balance of like quality of life. Like I like level 20 mounts. I like the slightly faster leveling pace, etc., etc. But I really do not like retail. I think retail is just like absolutely like just a clustered fudge. No, I try not to swear on stream, but you know what I mean. It's bad. I think it's just a huge mess right now. And I think they just announced a new expansion already, and I'm just like, oh my god, they should really think about cleaning up the old ones. The thing is, if you have to like switch timelines just to play the game when you hit cap level, and also like if it takes you like, you know, a day to hit cap level and there's 100 and like 40 freaking levels now or something, I feel like there's a problem. Actually, what is the cap level now? I think they did a level like squash, didn't they? Level crunch, what do they call that? I don't know, whatever. Moving on. Gotta stop getting on World of Warcraft tangents. Okay, we don't need that anymore. I can close that. I can close this. I can close this. And that. Okay, so yeah, the question is, how do we determine what level this is? I think we can just get the ability level, and then we can figure out how to update that level later. I'm kind of tempted though to like leave this on here and give it like level 1, right? Test it and see what our shield is like. Like let's do like a 2-second duration for our shield or something, right? Or let's just do this. Let's just go 1-to-1 here. I don't think we even need to promote that. Oh yeah, we do. We do, because we need to get rid of it afterward. Oh, that's going to cause an infinite loop. We need to get shield. actually? Put this, let's put this at the end, and then this can handle destroying. No, because this has to do with duration too. I think we just need to do this. This is the only way to get rid of the shield here, is when it takes too much damage. And then destroy shield will go, we'll call from the gameplay ability, and that will handle getting rid of the actual shield itself. Let's just do this actually. There we go. Okay, so we don't need to get this. We can just do destroy shield. And then we can destroy component. Sweet, and that should pretty much just clean itself up. Gas is handy. We should probably give this health of like 50 or something. 100 for now. Okay, I want to test this, and then we're gonna go change the duration for the level to like something much higher and see if that works. And this should now work properly, I think. My brain stopped being able to learn new WoW things after Lich King. Yeah. Delicious WoW tangents. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I never hit like end game stuff at all in WoW. I still haven't. Like I hit cap level in retail probably a couple of years now. Back it was a couple of years ago. I played with a friend and we were like, let's do it. And we played retail, and it took us like a week, I think, to like hit like cap level, and I wasn't even playing like a ton. So we hit cap level, and then it was like, what the hell do I do now? Like there's so much content, and I didn't know where to go or what to do. And I got really like overwhelmed with it, and I was like, this is really stupid, and I don't like the timelines, and I don't like trying to figure out which dungeon I'm supposed to be doing. And I spent like 2 whole days after cap level getting a bunch of gear, and then I decided to I was talking to someone about it, and they're like, oh yeah, that gear is all outdated. And I was like, oh. And then I started googling stuff, and like I found guides everywhere for all different manners of like expansions, and every single one had different like information about what to do at cap level, and I didn't know where to go or what to do. It was really frustrating. And I spent like I said, I wasted like 2 days getting gear that was not useful for me at all. It was like already way outdated. It's just like, I don't know why they do this. I don't know. I also really do not like the world scaling. I don't like being on the level, level 50 to 60 in Elwyn Forest. That just makes no sense to me. I don't know. I hate that. So yeah, I'm a big fan of classic. Okay, we need to heal this guy. Okay, that gave him a shield. Should last like no time at all. Oh, there it goes. Okay, 5 seconds. Why'd that last so long though, actually? Also, why are we not getting it back? Also, is he... Oh, he still has it on his end. He can still take damage. This is all fine. These are all weird bugs that we can fix. It's fine. Let's start over though, because for some reason he's not getting the shield again. We're getting errors. Any property, cached shield. Is the component destroying itself and I'm dumb? Oh, 3 o'clock. I have to get out of here, guys. Sorry. Jan has a meeting in like 15 minutes, and I'm not gonna be the one that makes her late, so I gotta get out of here. So, thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate it. I don't think we're gonna raid anyone. Should we raid? I don't have time to like sit and chat, so I'd feel bad raiding and then not sticking around. Yeah, we're just gonna end the stream. Anyway, I'll catch you guys on Thursday. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. And for the assistance with some design stuff and chatting about Bubblehead. About WoW. Wrong button. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Thursday. So have a good one. Bye.